Hey everyone, and welcome to Ink Spotlights from Comix Wellspring. This is the series where we shine the spotlight on immensely talented creators who print with us. And today we're joined by Kevin Zoldan to talk about Kitty's Bordello, some of his other books, his journey, and a little bit more. Kevin, it's so awesome. Good. It's great seeing you. I love you. How are you? How's everything in Hawaii?
I'm doing good, man. Life's good, but I mean, there's a lot of craziness going on just in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, But personally, I'm doing very well. I appreciate you for asking. How are you doing? How's everything?
We're kicking it. You know what I mean? We're here. We're here. Comics keep us happy and flowing and inspired and ready to do what we need to, which is a lot what your book is about. Tell us all about Kitty's Bordello.
Yeah, Kitty's Bordello, especially the first issue, is sets the stage for hope. So I think that's a really important message right now because
Yep.
everything just going on. Like we got to keep hope. We got to keep it positive. So it is kind of like you have to set up the dominoes before you tear them down. Before you knock them down. So it's a buildup of bad guys at first, but it's a story of redemption, and that's my favorite part. So I can't wait for everybody to take this journey with me and experience the full story, because you're not getting the full story just with one issue. You got to follow along to the end. But it starts off great with the first issue. I'm so proud of it. Thank you for LKC Comix Wellspring for printing it. It looks so good. It looks phenomenal. There might be some glare on it, but it
Oh,
is absolutely phenomenal quality that they put out, and I couldn't be happier with them.
and it's a historical story. There's a lot of history involved with it, and it's very much almost like a political story at the same time because of the time period it takes place in. What draws you to write and research stories like this?
Well, kind of the rise of fascism was like a major inspiration to me to warn about fascism in general, like that form of government and what the oppression that it can have on creative types, things like that. There's a lot of censorship involved with that. So that's kind of what I'm slightly worried about with the upcoming events. So you got to express your voice, you got to be creative, you got to get your message out there. And I'm immensely proud of this story. And I think everybody's going to enjoy it too, man. It's awesome.
And I think that's like one of the coolest things about it. I've always come from a punk rock background. I know you do too. And it's hard to stay silent when things are happening across the world. And you found a way to not only give us a history lesson, but a reminder of what's going on in the world as well. Like as the events happen in that book, there's some things that readers may find could even mirror what we're going through. And it's good to study our history and our past to see what has actually changed or not. And I feel like you've produced a very strong and powerful story behind that. How many issues are you aiming to make with Kitty's Bordello? What's the overall scope for the audience?
Kitty's Bordello is going to be five. It's going to be five and done. It's going to be like a mini series. It's going to be like a movie, like just one shot, and then I'm not. It's not going to be a continuing story forever and ever. It has a finale. It has a yeah. It has fireworks at the end.
I
So
love
yeah. So like I like wrapping stories up. I don't like the continuing on forever and ever. That's great for a lot of artists, but for me it just doesn't. It's not the message I want to do. I want to work with different storylines, different characters, things like that. But with Kitties right now, everything is working phenomenally. My artist Abel Garcia, he's phenomenal. He's like a pop realist. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, the artwork that he's putting out, and the historical characters look like the historical characters, and I couldn't be more proud of it. It's immensely. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for being able to team up with him. Yeah, that's for sure.
I love it. And so what got you to start creating in general? Like this is a very strong story to come out the gates with, and you've done some cool anthology work, especially through Apollo and Cybersync and the Shadow anthology. But what got you to start writing these stories?
Yeah, brother.
Hey, there
Super
we go.
excited about these. Both of these are amazing. That's a Bell's cover right there too.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Um, I have always been a writer ever since I was young. So it's kind of just a continuation. Like when I was in bands, I'd write, lyrics, basically like poems, things like that, and we'd use them as lyrics. So I've always been a writer, but now I'm actually getting the structure behind it and getting it organized. And extremely happy to be doing that. And it's kind of my new artistic venture. And I know it's a lot coming out of the gate with this story. It's like an epic. I should have probably practiced a little bit more, but the way it's winding up, I do have complete confidence in it. And everything is coming out exactly like what was intended. So I don't feel like it's rushed. I feel like it's very well, properly made. And I'm proud to put it out and put my name on it.
No, you should be. I've read the book. I've seen copies before it was even in print that you've shown me and everything, and I felt so lucky and grateful to read it. Like far before most people, I feel sometimes too. And it was one of those books that I was just shocked with, like the quality of the writing, the way characters were introduced, the transitions that were going on. I would have never imagined that this was like your first book that you're putting out. Like you do seem like a seasoned comic book writer who's experimented a few times, but that's just knowing your craft and knowing how to tell a story. And I feel like you had so much diving into it with your research and with a phenomenal artist too. It was just brought to life with a very clear and concise vision.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I did have one book before. It's called Unbroken. It's
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's basically like a survivor like story, and it was very related to my situation at the time. But that's definitely what I got positive feedback, and the encouragement from it is what kept me going. And I wanted to just put out a series because I
Mhm.
feel like with short stories, it's so hard to be able to tell a full story with like just six
Mhm.
pages. And I came across this story and I was like, man, this is going to be like 5 books at 32 pages. I was like, this is going to be a lot, but um, it's, yeah, 32 pages each, but it's a great story and it keeps you entertained the whole way through. And I think the pacing that I do is not overly daunting, and that's the key, I think, to telling like a longer story, being able to pace it out so you keep your readers. And
Mhm.
I think I do that. I think I do that pretty good. So um, yeah, the confidence is there. It's just building an audience and marketing. I'm not good at the business side of everything, man. I'm good at the creative side of it.
It is the bane of every comic book creator is just trying to find that like balance to make it work on both ends. You know what I mean? You put as much as you can into one aspect and hope it starts to pay off on the other. And it's a hard thing to run, a comic book business because we are essentially small businessmen trying to run our own little, book is every book is a product. And our shop and our little, our table setups and everything, those are our pop-up shops. And Instagram and all the social media, it's so much to handle. And typically you have a team if you run a business, but we are solo entrepreneurs for the most part here, But you're putting out so much good stuff and you have a lot planned in 2025. Do you have any can you express any of those plans or releases or give us hints to when things will be coming out?
Yeah, so I don't have exact dates or anything like that yet, but book two will be coming out, and it's a continuation of the rest of the characters. The first book pretty much focuses on Kitty and how the Nazis essentially take over the brothel. That's the main gist of the story. Besides the themes and everything, it's Nazis. They take over a brothel. They spy on their own people. It's and what they find out is absolutely insane. So yeah, yeah, I'm immensely proud of it. It's a continuation of the story. I can't wait for everybody to follow along and continue with the story because the characters introduced in book two, man, it just expands the story a lot and in a good way. It tells a full story, and I'm happy to be able to do that.
I love that so much. I love your vision. I love how you're doing it. And I love the message you're sending with this type of story as well. I think it resonates very well in our times or just in general. It's good to be informed about stuff like this. It's good to know your history. It's good to know, the what you're saying in here just really does mirror a lot of what things are turning out to be today. And how do we combat that? How do we approach things differently? How do we approach things the way people did in the past, and work towards that goal as well? But I'm so excited to get issue 2 in my hands. I'm so excited for you to be putting out more work as well. Kevin, it's always fun talking to you. I'm so happy you stepped in the spotlight today as well, to just share your story and share your book with the audience. Do you have any shout outs or anything you want to give before we sign off?
Everybody at LKC, Mark, obviously, everybody's been great. Brandon, um, awesome. He's been giving me a little bit of feedback. All the creators there, everybody's been, it's a community of people. And everybody helps each other and lifts each other up, and it's always constructive. It's never bringing people down, and I'm happy to be a part of that team. Comix Wellspring, obviously, it's quality printing, and the way they ship everything out to you, it's immense care that they put into their products, and couldn't be happier with that. Great quality. You for having me on here, man. Appreciate you a lot, dude. It's yeah.
Of course.
Apollo City, all the anthologies I was able to do. Abel Garcia, first and foremost, man. That dude, he's been nothing but I don't really like to use this word, but a blessing. He's been a
Yeah.
blessing for me personally. So yeah, let me end with a story real quick. I was
Yeah.
talking to him about political stuff yesterday,
Mhm.
and I was in Spain in 2017, and we were leaving Barcelona, headed to Girona. So we're just leaving the big town, and we're driving on the highway. And on the other side of the highway, there were no cars. We're like, "What is going on? Like, this is crazy." And we kept driving, and then we just see the sea of people marching down the highway, and we're just like, "What is going on?" Then we found out about all the protesting and things like that there. So there's a lot of fight, I think, in the world. And if we have that vision and unite together, that's the key. We have to unite together. So I think that this will be a great awakening, and good things in the future will be um, in our sights. So
I
yeah,
love that.
I want to leave with that. Yeah, I want to leave with
And
that
it's such
hope.
a positive message, and exactly full of hope. And I think that's what you've always tried to portray, is that we're not solving stuff with violence. We're solving things with learning our history, with hope, with finding that sparkle of light down the road. And I think we need to be reminded of that more often than not. And if we do stick together, and if there's a big strong message behind all of us, and you're helping work with that, and you're helping portray that, and you're helping share that love and that encouragement, so people like you are more needed in this world, spreading that type of message. So I thank you for that as well, Kevin.
Man, you're awesome, brother. Appreciate the kind words, man. Thank y'all so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin. We'll talk soon. We'll get you on Inspiring very soon. And your next book, when it's ever it's ready, you'll step back in the spotlight. Tell us all about it.
It's already ready. He's working on book 4 now, so
Oh,
everything is going ahead of schedule. It's going great. So can't wait
love
to
it.
be back. Thank you.
Thank you.